on today's episode of Total Recall with Jasper and friends.
They walk home and they lay in the middle of the road because I guess there's nothing else to live for when the carnival leaves town.
When it starts to rain, and then we get to the big scene.
Yeah, lots of wet sex.
No.
I want you all the time, every day. You and me, all this beautiful stuff. But yeah.
That's nice. John, has she ever said that to you?
Yeah, no.
So sit back, relax, and oh no.
What do you want?
Ryan, we talked about this.
What do you want?
Just a little peace and quiet. We'll record my intro. Is that too much to ask?
What do you want?
I want to start the show, Ryan. Damn! Welcome back to Total Recall with Jasper and friends. Today, my friends are none other than John and Kenz.
Woo!
Woo!
Happy to
Hi.
be here.
Happy to be here. Well, we want to say where we are right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're on Nantucket up here in Massachusetts, the lovely island.
Lovely island.
All about celebrating love. Friends' wedding weekend.
We're celebrating
Couldn't
love.
be more excited.
It's Gerbasy's Gerbasy or Gerbasy if we want to pronounce it correctly, which is strange because we'll give the backstory here. Throughout all of college, our friend Mike, our soon-to-be wedded Mike, pronounced his last name Gerbasy, and that's what we all called him because there were many Mikes in our lives. And then at some point, junior or senior year, his brother came down and told us that's not how you say his name, and it's actually Gerbasy. And it blew all of our minds. So now we have no idea what it's called, and we can't trust him.
Yeah, it's such an odd thing to do.
Well, I had about a 30-minute conversation with mom where she confirmed by saying Gerbasy family about 17 times. So I'm going to go with that going forward.
Do you think if we say his name Gerbasy at the wedding, like a bunch of his relatives are going to come beat us up or something?
I think we might be able to convince them that they've been saying it wrong.
We are very persuasive like that.
Yeah, we could do that.
We have to mention Perry, though. We can't not leave out, we can't leave the bride out in
We
this
should
conversation.
mention Perry, but I know how to say Perry's name like 100%.
Got it. Perry
Yeah.
Mead, pretty quick.
Yeah, Perry
Got it.
Mead. Yeah. Anyway, well, we're taking a break from wedding festivities, but we're still talking love because we are here to talk about The Notebook, which you guys picked for this podcast. So why The Notebook?
Well, I think it all comes back to one of America's treasures, which is Rachel McAdams.
Oh, 100% agree. Just the best.
And I mean, this is one of her earlier works, and I think it could be one of her better works as well.
As you can't tell, John's had a crush on Rachel McAdams for at least 7+ years.
I think
As
it's
long as
more than
I've
that.
known
I
him.
also think crush is understating it.
He would marry her if he could. So I mean, that was probably the big sell. But
Yeah.
it's also, it gets you to cry, and sometimes you need a good cry. So
true. Did you guys cried while watching this?
I bawled
sure.
my eyes
I cried
out.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have. I knew better. But I cried anyway. Okay. So we're going to get back into the Notebook mindset here. Get your tissues ready. And I'm going to have some fun facts and context, get us back in the mood. You guys ready? You excited? You ready to learn?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Okay. The Notebook is a 2004 romantic drama starring the aforementioned Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling. It was written by Jeremy Levin and Jan Sardi and directed by Nick Cassavetes, something like that. I don't know how to say his name. But he did direct this movie. The movie adapts the Nicholas Sparks novel of the same name, which was published in 1996, the year of my birth. Are you guys 96?
Yeah.
96?
Oh my god, what a year for all of us.
Full circle.
Full circle. And when it was published, it spent 56 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Have either of you read the book?
I found out today it was a book.
You had no idea this was a book?
No, I thought great movie idea. So learn something
That
new every
checks
day.
out. That checks out a lot.
Oh man, okay. Kenz, what type of books are you reading?
Murder mystery. That's about it. And I don't want to spoil anything. No one dies in this movie. Oh, I just lied.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
No one's
Wait.
killed in this movie.
no one's killed. Who?
I will say, set during like the period of World War II, a lot of people died.
And yet, but again, nobody was
People were
killed
dying,
that
but there
we're
wasn't like
aware
a
of.
mystery about what was going on.
Yeah, it doesn't really speak to my typical genre of book.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you ever read the book, there's also a sequel called The Wedding, which is appropriate for where we are right now, but not important for what we're talking about. We're talking about the film. So the success of the book immediately launched talk of an adaptation. Producer Mark Johnson bought the rights for New Line Cinema and immediately started scouring Hollywood for the right talent. And to his credit, he shot his shot. He first approached none other than Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise to direct and star in the movie. They turned him down.
Oh my gosh.
So he went to a rung below that, and he went to director Martin Campbell. Do you know who that is?
I've heard that name.
Hell yeah. Martin Campbell and star George Clooney
Ooh.
to perhaps star. They also turned him down. And so then he takes a different approach, and he says he wants less of a name. He wants someone who isn't, quote, cool or, quote, handsome, unquote, which obviously leads him straight to Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. That's a
pick.
typical path, right?
This is something Ryan Gosling said in an interview. He said the director said he wasn't cool or handsome, and that's why he cast him, which is wild.
Makes no sense because he's unbelievably cute in this movie, so I don't see
He's
how that's...
adorable in this movie.
Yeah.
He's such a little puppy dog, Ryan Gosling. I love him so much. Gosling has said in interviews he didn't think he was right for this part, but he couldn't turn down the opportunity. So he worked really hard to prepare. He moved down to South Carolina for 2 months ahead of filming to prep for the role. When he was in South Carolina, he got a job making furniture. And I also think that's just charming as hell.
That's so charming.
Could you imagine you got like a chair made by Ryan Gosling?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
as his like one-off hobby.
Oh my god.
So this really launched... I knew none of this. This launched Ryan Gosling pretty much.
Basically, he was in the Mickey Mouse Club and
Yeah.
some other stuff,
well,
but
you
this
know.
was like mature leading man Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
But even then after this, it was kind of like if you whatever, and then he goes into the like indie stuff, so just like Drive and like Only God Forgives and stuff, and then he goes back in with like Crazy Stupid Love and becomes kind of
Okay,
like
then takes off.
yeah, takes off, and then he does the Emma Stone stuff, and then
Yep.
we're into La La Land, and then we're off, you know.
And then what today?
And then we're at Ken today. The Ken we know and love.
and now he's our Ken in the Mojo Dojo Casa House. Is that what Mojo Dojo?
You got it.
Yeah. I don't know why don't know the name of it. I live there. While Ryan was off making couches, the director was searching for his leading lady. Nearly every age-appropriate actress was considered, including Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Adams, Mandy Moore, Scarlett Johansson, and my personal favorite, Britney Spears,
Wow.
which is wild. I didn't even know she had a serious acting career. Although it would have been a little Mickey Mouse Club reunion between her and Ryan Gosling, and that could have been interesting.
That could have been cute.
Could have
yeah.
been cute. And I'm sure they'd both have fond memories of those days. But eventually they land on John's girl, Rachel McAdams. And much has been made about the relationship between Gosling and McAdams during this movie, but both have acknowledged that their on-screen pairing is what made the movie work. Said Gosling, quote, I think that it's pretty fair to say that we wouldn't probably have made the movie if we hadn't found Rachel. Really, Allie, Rachel McAdams' character, drives the movie. It's her movie and the rest of us are in it. It all kind of depended on the actress, end quote. So that's nice of him.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
I think she did incredible acting in this movie, so.
I think she's good.
Truth.
We'll get into what we think of it, but yeah. But rumors of their on-set feud, which have kind of surrounded this movie, didn't really start until 10 years after the film's release, when the director gave a quote to a journalist who was writing about the film's anniversary. He said, quote, maybe I'm not supposed to tell this story, but they were really not getting along one day on set. Ryan came to me, and there's 150 people standing in this big scene, and he says, quote, Nick, come here. And he's doing the scene with Rachel, and he says, would you take her out of here and bring in another actress to read with me? And I said, what? And he says, I can't do it with her. I'm just not getting anything from this. This led to a come-to-Jesus moment between the group where Gosling and McAdams apparently just had it out, like screaming at each other, like angry, mad, like fucking, actors, And then apparently after they had that come-to-Jesus moment, it wasn't smooth sailing, but, quote, it was smoother sailing. So that's kind of the history of this feud. So they didn't really hate each other. They just had a bad day and started screaming at each other, and then it was fine.
I wish I could do that with some coworkers. If only,
Yeah. They should allow more coworkers to get mad at each other the way Hollywood people can get mad at each other.
Yeah.
Just have a scream room.
Like toddler it out in a way.
Yeah.
I think when I was watching movies and TV growing up, you were thinking that big confrontations were much more a part of office life than they turned out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not having any meetings where anyone's talking above 2 decibels, and I think that's lame. I kind of want to scream.
Some pranks. Throw some pranks in there.
Ooh,
Not a lot of pranks.
There's no pranks. I think I'm happy about that. I'd be kind of mad if there were pranks going on every day in my office.
Yeah, in the
if you were being
workplace, I'm
pranked
like-
on daily,
No.
that would be a little.
Yeah, I guess I gotta come to terms with the fact that if there were pranks going on at the office, people would be pranking me.
True. And then it extends the workday. You don't want that,
that's
so.
true. You can't get your work done because there's a whoopee cushion under you,
Yeah, whole thing.
But the movie eventually comes out on June 25th, 2004, and goes on to make $115.6 million worldwide. It also goes on to win Best Kiss at the 2005 MTV Movie Awards, where Gosling and McAdams recreated their iconic smooch live on TV. Kenz is nodding along because she remembers
I've seen
this.
it.
It's kind of electric, and it's interesting because
so
these two
good.
didn't really like each other, but they really put on a show.
I think they started dating though after. There was also rumors that they
started
started
dating?
dating after the movie, and that's I think what led to maybe this passionate kiss. Again, I don't think it lasted long, that relationship, but now this is me getting into
Do you think that was like a real relationship or like a fake one to promote the movie?
who's to say?
You are right now.
Well, love is love, you know. I'm like whether it's fake love or real love, it
That's
had.
true.
It
We're
had
at a
me
wedding. We
convinced.
gotta believe.
You
We gotta
gotta
believe
believe.
in love. You
Had-
know?
yeah, had me
Okay.
convinced.
Well, speaking of, this leads me directly to your softball question. Are you ready? Are you excited?
Super excited.
Okay. The Notebook is one of many, many Nicholas Sparks novels to detail the enduring power of love. So my question to you, John and Kenz, two people very much in love, is if there were a Nicholas Sparks book about your love story, what would it be called?
Ooh.
And they're usually called like The Notebook or The Last Song or something like that.
So maybe
it's
like
gotta
a
be
the at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think back to college where, you know, we started out rocky, if you will. Like, my heart's always been in it. His heart took a second to catch up. So I don't know if it's like the
We
catch
could be
up,
like The Long Road.
the long road.
Ooh.
All right.
I like
Yeah.
Is there a road trip in here somewhere? Because it could be a double entendre with like if there was a road
We
trip.
did a lot of travel
So we did travel a lot.
between Virginia, Pennsylvania. That's
Virginia,
both
Pennsylvania, that was
from.
a road. I think one thing that like initially launched our relationship was the road up to Perry's birthday weekend in New York.
Oh my God.
We were in Virginia, and then it was
That's
like an
true.
8-hour trip.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
first time ever,
Yeah.
it was at that birthday party that you said you had feelings for me.
Yeah.
What?
And now here we are.
I didn't. This
Yeah.
is kind of perfect, guys.
Right?
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's adorable.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I like. You know what? It gives you a little too much credit, but I like that title.
Yeah. Nicholas Sparks, the long
The
Road.
Long Road, the John and Ken story, coming to theaters near you. Am I
Yeah.
right?
I'd see that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would let Ryan Gosling play me.
Yeah, you're a Ron Gosling type. Everyone knows it. Okay, so we're going to transition into the game. I'm going to explain the rules. John and Kenz obviously know the rules. This is for the audience. We will have 30 minutes to recap The Notebook, which we watched way more than a month ago because this had to get rescheduled. So this is going to be a little bit rough. We're going to figure it out. At the end of the 30 minutes, I will read back the Wikipedia page to see if we missed anything. And at the end of the season, the team or player with the most points or the best memory will win 24 cookies, courtesy of Mom in the Mail.
Cookies!
John Kenz, do you have a favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip through and through. And let me say, she does amazing chocolate chip.
I'm nodding along. I'm
Cookies,
vigorously nodding along. Nodding along. And nodding along, too. Okay, well, when we come back, John and Kenz play the game.
What do you want?
I like 30 minutes on the clock. And then I'd like it to start in 3, 2. Okay, The Notebook. Where do we want to start? What do we remember?
So I think it starts with a wide shot of that house.
Wide shot of house.
Wide shot of the house, and then
Is this the house that he's like gonna build like later?
I think it's. I thought it was a senior living community.
No, it is now a senior living community. But yeah, it is the house, and it has lake, pond, marsh, whatever body of water you want to call it.
Never picked up on them being the same house. Are you trying to tell me it's the same house?
You know what? Maybe it's not.
I'm thinking it's not the same
I
house.
think they're both like white houses, but the house he builds is like not that big, and the senior center seems like it's pretty big.
Huge. Yeah,
There's like
so
because
it's
it's not
definitely
just
not
them
the same
now.
house.
Maybe I got romanticized and wished it was.
It'd be nice. It'd be cool if it was. So it's
Yeah.
wide shot of the
It's the
senior-
retirement
it's
community.
The retirement community.
Right.
And it's it's the old man kind of following the older woman
I think
around,
is
about
he
to read him his
monologuing?
book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah, he hasn't. Oh, he's doing the narration right now because he doesn't open the book. He has
Yeah,
like
he
open the
hasn't
book.
opened it yet.
yeah. So
The Notebook.
The Notebook.
The,
Yeah.
the titular Notebook.
We technically don't know it's a notebook yet, though.
That's true.
We just think it's some story they pull off the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but from what I remember, like some nurse white coat comes in and is basically saying like, "Oh, she's not doing well today," and he's like, "I don't care. We do this every day to read a book."
Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys got to type too.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
fair. That's
Okay,
fair.
no. Yeah, he's reading her book. Keep going.
Yeah. So he goes to visit her to read the book, and then the first story began. I think it was like, where did we leave off?
Oh, they're at the like amusement park. They're at the fair.
That carnival.
They're at the
The
carnival.
fair.
Yep.
Fairs are so romantic.
So romantic.
Love
oh
a
my
fair.
god,
Yeah.
great food, like
my
winning
God.
teddy bears and stuff. But they're
Yeah,
at the
fried
carnival.
Oreos. You know, that's just love.
It is. Oh, it's so love. But at the carnival, Allie, who's the lead right here, Rachel McAdams,
Rachel
is
McAdams.
with her group of friends, all very, like kind of not preppy looking, but like they all got the dresses on. They got that old school look.
They're Southern belles.
It's
bells.
one of those like southern towns where it's like there's the hardworking like salt to the earth people, and all of them in this movie have like scraggly beards and are wearing like overalls, and they don't look very clean. And then there's a like very buttoned up kind of like people who bought stuff that's like, this is popular in England now, so you got to wear it. You know, that type of
Exactly.
people. Yeah. And that's the crowd Rachel McAdams in. But so they meet at the fair.
They meet. Yes,
Well,
he sees her from a distance.
Yeah, and he's the salt of the earth type of guy. Where he's on that class.
He's got a. Oh no! At this point, he doesn't have the beard. He's still babyface.
Yeah, he's still babyface,
He's like
but it very much is
17 or whatever.
It's very much love at first sight for Ryan Gosling.
Oh
Like,
my god, he's down so bad right
bad.
away.
Yeah, and
This is my thing about Ryan Gosling, and I mentioned this in another episode of the show, but he is so good at like being in love with whoever is in the movie with him.
100%.
Like,
yeah.
because here's the thing, we're now on like his 5th or 6th like different pair, and every time he crushed it. So it could be Rachel McAdams, it could be Emma Stone, it could be Margot Robbie. Either way, I know Ryan Gosling loves them very much.
He's in love. Yeah, he gets this like look in his eye. Yeah, it's whatever glimmer. And you know what? That's an actor right there.
That's why he's an actor.
That's why he's an actor. I don't think he loves all of them truly.
No.
You know?
Right?
But that
He
character
can't.
of his loves them.
He's in love with Eva Mendes in real life?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Isn't that not his wife?
I'm almost positive that's right.
I think it's
I
Eva
don't know.
Mendes.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It doesn't
Nonetheless,
matter.
yeah, he does love, but not these people. Just it seems that way.
It seems that way. He's a good actor. Okay, and he is at the fair, and he sees Rachel McAdams from like
Yes.
across the fair, and he's like, "Who
like-
is that?"
Oh my
Right,
god.
he's
He's like,
like,
oh
I
my
gotta-
god, hi, go out with me.
Yeah. And she wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he walks up to her. He's like, "Please, please, please."
Yeah,
and
and
turns
so
him down 4 or 5 times. She's with somebody else. Who's she with?
Some guy, you know,
Yeah.
we don't actually
we
care.
can't tell if it's like an official date, double date, or if it's just like a group of friends.
Oh yeah,
But
he's
they're-
trying to like interrupt them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're on the Ferris wheel together. And Ryan Gosling
Yeah.
jumps onto a Ferris
Oh
wheel.
yeah, he shuts down the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hanging like 50 feet in the air, like, you know.
Dangling.
Yeah. Like
So
Ryan
that's
Gosling.
really romantic. That's
It's
adorable.
actually so cute.
Yeah.
But the great line is him saying, like, beg me to go out with you. As he's dangling from this Ferris wheel about to plummet.
Oh, yeah,
to death.
he's like-
And she's like, I want to go out with you! Just screaming it.
Yeah, she's like, I want you to believe it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because he's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, he tries to flip it. It's really fun. Okay. So she agrees to go with him on the Ferris wheel
Yes.
under duress.
Under, yeah,
Well,
totally
on the
correct.
Ferris wheel with like another guy who's being kind of chill about this, considering the circumstances.
He's pretty
Oh,
weak.
yeah.
Like, to
Because
be
like
honest.
John, let's say you were on a date with Rachel McAdams, and then somebody else comes and like asks her out. Well, you guys are together. Like that's not cool.
No, but like in this case, Mackenzie would shut him down, and I'd be like, "We're cool." And
That's a nice
and then
save.
All of a sudden,
It was interesting how, yeah.
all of a sudden, this guy's now on the Ferris wheel, 50 feet above the ground. I kind of have props for him.
So,
Absolutely.
so you're sitting there like, you deserve this girl.
No, not for like you. I'm just saying, like, I can understand how a guy would be like, I kind of respect this.
Yeah, you gotta respect the hustle of the play.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's like, does she go home?
Yeah, well, it kind of like,
Wow.
the scene kind of dies there, you know?
Yeah, and
Kinda
then I think then we start learning about the town, right?
Yeah. Well, they fast forward a bit, right?
No.
Don't they fast forward a bit
Not
until they
really.
go on their first date? He sees her kind of across
Well,
the way.
he has a friend there who works at the lumber mill with him.
Oh yeah, and he's like, this girl, you're not
Yeah.
out of your league, pal.
Yeah, he's like trying to like not
Yeah.
talk him down, but basically like be like, if this doesn't work, like you're gonna be okay.
I don't. You're gonna be okay. It's like she's not the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But he has his own girl, and
Oh, yeah.
they do a double date.
Yeah, because that girl is friends with Rachel McAdams in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, either way, I feel like...
Wait, okay, hold on. Okay, so Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling go on a double date with another couple.
Yes,
Okay,
to the movies.
double
movies.
date to the movies.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they have a car, but Ryan Gosling's like, "Oh, do you want to walk home?"
Excellent job, John. Walk
I know,
home.
you're doing great. The walk home scene.
Yeah,
and then...
but they walk home and they lay in the middle of the road because I guess there's nothing else to live for when the carnival leaves town.
It's also like one of those things where it's presented as like Ryan Gosling being like a cool and a different kind of guy than she's normally with, because like the type of guy she goes out with never lay down in the middle of the road.
Never.
Yeah.
These morons. Yeah. What kind of life is that? You're not laying down in the intersection?
They're watching the stoplight. I don't know what.
I think he
is
brought up.
so romantic about that?
No, he brought up his dad or someone.
Yeah, I think he said his dad and him used to do that. It was like a family ritual, maybe. And then he's like, it's also like you got to appreciate the little moments in the mundane, because she's got big eyes. She's like, I want to go move away and go to college. Yeah. And I'm trying to like make something of myself. And Ryan Gosling's always like, just like appreciate what's in front of you. And so she starts looking at him like, he's kind of cool. I like this guy. Right. And so, does anything else happen on the second date? They almost get run over.
They run out of the middle of the street. I feel like that's it, right? She doesn't meet the dad yet. They don't go back to his place. It just kind of, the night ends
I think that ends.
Yeah. And then I think we go straight into like big montage of like them on like the boat and and like jumping in the river and just like being in love, you know?
That feels right.
Well, there is the montage, but then there's like the element of the rich dad doesn't want her.
We got to talk about the dad. You're right.
Yeah, the rich dad doesn't want his daughter to be with like this like low life. I don't want to say scum, but like
say it.
Yeah, this guy who he believes to be like low life. He's working for like 20 cents a day or something.
Yeah, he's not. He
brings up his salary. I remember that was the thing.
Because he's like, what? He's like an apprentice to like a woodworking guy. What is his job?
He works at a lumber mill.
Works at a lumber mill. Okay.
Is that the
rich?
Montauk?
Oh yeah, because
Montauk.
It's French. Because she's like, he goes over for dinner or brunch or something, and it's Ryan Gosling there and all of the like rich hoity-toity people outside, and they're like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I work at the lumber mill down over on Main Street, probably. I don't know." And then they're like, "Oh, what kind of money are you making that?" And he says, and they all like laugh at him.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh no."
Yeah. He handles it very maturely. I just remember in that scene specifically, he was the kind of the one on top, you know, and the way he kept his cool. Like he was very respectful in his response to everybody. So
the lunch with family, and then we gotta do it's like the montage, rich love, lunch with family, bad as much, and then. Basically, she's like, I want to be with him, and they're like, fine, but you're still going to college. You have to go to college. You cannot stay here with him.
At some point, they all end up in the parents' house. I feel like this is also like a skip forward. They're all in the parents' house discussing this.
I think, because a lot of this movie, you think a lot of this movie exists here, in this part, which is not true. Most of the movie is after, when we do a little time jump. And James Marsden shows up, and we got all this other stuff to talk about.
Very true,
So let's get through this. So, like... you still have to go to college. She's like, that's okay. But she doesn't tell Ryan Gosling that he's going. She's still planning.
No, he overhears it and then gets pissed and kind of leaves the house. So that's how he finds out, is through this like big argument with her and her parents.
Leaves big argument with parents.
I think we gotta step back.
Take a step back.
Where
are we going?
We're going to his family. Because remember, his dad.
family.
Well, his family just...
because...
Just the dad that loves her, pretty much. I mean...
Yeah, but then that's where she, like, is allowed to paint for the first time or something.
Oh.
Encouraged to paint.
Oh, she wants to be a painter, and he's like, you should do that. She's like, yeah, I should, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
And then, because later in the house, he builds her.
That's where so, she has a room to paint.
I think it just shows the two different sides.
Nice.
It is nice.
But like I think.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, we got it. Okay, yeah.
I just want to bring that.
No,
up.
I think that's totally point. We got to establish that Rachel McAdams wants to paint.
Right. Because that's important.
Yeah, that was somewhere in the montage.
Yeah. In this montage, and Ryan Gosling has a boat, and they also go visit this house, and this is when they have sex. Right?
They're about to.
They don't, though.
Okay. So they're at the...
But that's before the big argument, right? Where she goes to college, or after the big argument?
It's before, because they're about to do that, and then his friend comes, and he's like...
You got
Allie's parents has the cops looking for her.
Oh, yeah. Allie's missing night before college, right?
Or the summer's over or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And Dad's like, we're going to send the cops after him, which is... wild.
Right.
Like, she's been gone for a couple hours, and there's like this town is like 1,000 people. Like, she's fine.
It's like 10:30 at night.
She's like an adult. This is gonna. But then, so they sneak off to this abandoned house that Ryan Gosling has always wanted to fix up, but it's still kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And he's like, one day I'm gonna make this house super nice. And she's like, oh my god, this guy, he's so dreamy. I love him so much. And then they are making out. It's hot and heavy, but they don't have sex.
They don't, because the friend interrupts.
The friend God
but
damn it.
They're completely naked. She's like, I'm scared. And he's like, what?
Ugh.
As far as I can tell, the friend interrupts because...
I hate it when that happens.
Allie's parents are looking for her. They got to get home now. They all then go to the house where this conversation then took place. You got to go to college. You got to
go to college.
him.
Blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
Dump him.
He runs out. Now he's pissed. They're heated. She's shoving him. They're cursing. Whatever they're doing, they're pissed.
Noah. We should put his name's Noah in here.
Yeah.
I got Noah.
Allie and Noah.
Okay.
But yeah, Noah then dumps her. And she's like, it's just a fight, right? We're going to be okay in the morning.
Yeah. Noah dumps her. Keep going.
Yeah, and so Noah dumps her. We're going to be okay in the morning. The morning comes around, and the parents are like, Allie, pack your stuff. We're leaving. So she doesn't actually get to say goodbye to him face to face.
Didn't she go to...
She goes to the
lumber yard.
Yeah, she goes to the lumber yard. Trying to catch a hold of him.
He's not there. He's like trying to go to the house. She's not there. They're like very crisscross paths, super romantic. And then she goes off to school where she meets...
She doesn't meet that guy there because she goes to school to be a nurse.
Oh, she's
right?
a nurse.
She's in college nursing. And then helps out in the war, right?
Well, so he's writing...
war's going on.
Right, war's happening.
World War I or II, I don't know.
One of the big ones.
One of them. But...
either way, we won. Am I right, guys?
USA. Hey! He's writing her a letter a day for a year. That's
a really good point.
He's writing her a letter a day for a year, basically like confessing his love, love letters.
Getting nothing in return.
Getting nothing.
And he's now looking bad. Like, the beard's coming in. The beard is awful.
Yeah,
dude's hitting depression hard.
Like, listen, John, you've grown a depressed beard before? I've grown a depression beard before.
I was able to, like, right on the cusp, save it, be like, oh no, I don't need this right now. So, no, he really leaned into the depression.
Yeah, any guy with a beard like Ryan Gosling in this movie, you should check in on them, see if they're okay.
They say that a heartbreak is one of the hardest things to fix. It's not like a medicine can just fix it. I mean,
did you say that, or did they say that in the movie?
No, they say that in life. This is like a life thing.
Oh, that's romantic.
Right? Because a heartbreak hurts like hell. How do you fix it? So he's really going through it with this heartbreak. He's like, she's the one, and I can't get a hold of her. God. But yeah. Allie is volunteering.
That's cool. We're kind of halfway through this thing. We're halfway through this movie. We're making great time, my gang. We're ripping. We're going through. Okay, so she goes to war. She's the nurse, and it's not a hospital. It's like where they take the wounded soldiers or whatever. This guy comes in. He's burnt up. He's looking bad.
Not look good.
He's got you don't think he's even gonna make it, and he's like, if I make it, will you go out with me? Which, if Rachel Gadd is my nurse, I'm shooting my shot too.
You may have
you're full body cast. Like,
it doesn't matter. I gotta shoot my shot. I'm gonna regret it forever if I don't.
Right.
She's an Are You There God to Me Margaret.
Exactly.
Did you guys see that?
No.
So, John, when I tell you, she is so good in that movie, it's crazy. She's also a painter in that movie, which is a fun little tie-in.
I think she likes painting in most of her movies.
I know. I'm thinking of like Time Traveler's Wife. She's an artist there.
Is she an artist in About Time?
No, she really likes art.
Oh, she's an art appreciator in About Time.
Yeah.
That's
and then in Game Night, she's just the coolest person who ever lived. Anyway. Okay, so James Marsden shoots a shot, gets turned down. She's like, you're injured, you're not going to make it, I'm not going to go out with you. And then she returns to school, and then all of a sudden, there's this dapper gentleman out there. He's dressed in, what do you call the, full uniform?
The war uniform.
Yeah.
He's a
soldier. He's a soldier.
But in this, civilian, it's, not like he's going to war. He's in, the one you wear to, get a medal.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. He's dressed to the nines.
He's dressed to the nines. He's standing outside a cool ass fucking car, one of those cars you would Jay Leno would drive.
Yeah,
it's a
classic.
Cool one.
Yeah. Wasn't it a Rolls Royce esque, right?
Is it a Rolls Royce?
I mean,
it
could be. And all of Rachel McAdams' friends are like, who is that hottie over there? And it turns out to be the guy who asked her out on his deathbed. He made it. And all he wants to do is make out with Rachel McAdams.
Go out with her, And so how is she going to say no? Of course she doesn't say no.
That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
He like got better, and all of this whole time he was like, I just want to get back to you.
So cute. So then they go on. Yeah. So they have their date.
So Allie and Hot Soldier go out, and then this is a new montage of
kind of a new mini thing.
Them going through, I guess, like early 20s, maybe like a year or two has passed.
Yeah, and this is like, and he's also, it's very important. The parents love him.
Yep. He comes from money, so it's all about that money background.
And they're like respect that he's a soldier and went to war, and he's like now like insurance.
It's something with
I don't even know. They just throw like classic business lingo
he's
there.
He's a business guy, which John, we can agree, evil people, right?
Right. Yeah. He basically founded corporate America, is what I saw.
So true. Okay.
But then kind of going back to Noah. So in the meantime, Noah has never forgotten Allie, still loves Allie. He's now like, I just got to build this house. Like, this is my connection to her, what I said I'd do. So he's building this house. Now he has to go get permits for the house. So he takes a bus into town where he sees Allie walk across the street.
Yeah, and he like goes over to the restaurant, like looks through the window
and sees her with him.
And he's just like, oh.
He's broken, but he's also like, all right, it's not going to happen. He's like, I'm just good. This house is mine now. I'm going to keep building it, but
yeah. So he then finishes the house, and there's a picture in the newspaper of him in front of the house, and Allie sees it, and she's about to she gets proposed to before this.
Yes.
James Marsden's like, will you marry me? She's like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of the vibe.
Well, yeah.
It's a big old rock.
Huge ring.
Kind of as big as your old rock going on there, you know?
Oh my god, thank you.
No soldier, but damn, I can get a rock. But no, they were at like a dance party, and that's when all the like, the family loves them. And I don't know if they proposed at that party.
They did, yeah. It was at the big.
He's like does the whole thing where he's like, you don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And she's like, what are you talking about? And they get married, or they don't get married to propose, and then she sees the newspaper, and she's like, I got to go take care of a couple things before we get married. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to go. Right?
Wait a second.
Did we miss stuff?
I'm just reading back here. So Allie and Hot Soldier go at. Parents love the soldier. He comes from money, blah, blah, blah. At dance party, he proposes. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Noah never forgets Allie.
Yep.
He buys a house. They almost had sex in.
Mm-hmm. With his dad. His dad dies.
Yeah. Dad dies.
Yeah. I'll put dad dies in here.
Yeah, so very sad that dad dies. But yes, all while Noah then takes a photo in front of the house, as we said. It's in the newspaper. Allie's trying on a wedding dress, sees it, passes out, and is like, now I can't get Noah out of my head. That's pretty much where she is.
And then the next scene is she goes to visit, I don't even know, soldier guy, and he's now the businessman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she visits in his office, and she's like, I need to go out to the country, or I need to go somewhere.
She says, I need to go do a trip, take care of some stuff before we get married, which is like not a crazy thing to do.
Right.
But he's very cool about it. He's like, all right, let me know if you need me. And so she goes, and then she shows up to Ryan Gosling's like house, and they like are awkward. It's weird.
Yeah, she was like, I shouldn't have come, and he's like, do you want breakfast? It's like something like that, right? Do you want to come in for something, right?
Right?
Yes, but he's also like sleeping with like this other lady.
Oh yeah, but it's like totally emotionless. Like they're just kind of like.
Well, she's about him. She's
a widow.
Oh, right. He's having sex with a widow. We should put that in there.
Yeah.
And he's now living in the house, right?
Yeah, he's living in the house
that
he built and all that stuff.
It's just a classic white like country home. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's everything Rachel McAdams dreamed of. You know what I mean? But they're uncomfortable. Something's not clicking. But he's like, "Come on, stay for breakfast." She's like, "Okay." And then what happens here? I don't.
So they have a meal together. They catch up, and then she's kind of like, I'm about to leave, and he's like, wait one moment, and then they go in the water together, right? They're in the boat together.
Okay. No, she's like, I'm about to leave.
I feel like
fine.
That's the next
nice
day.
to see you. And then he's like, can I show you something?
Can I show you something? Yeah. And isn't that
maybe?
And then because this all is like a couple of days. Like,
yeah, it's like
this
maybe
is the thing
3
is
days.
like you think that they're together for so long, but it's actually like a few days of them just like, I don't know, we'll get into it, but they're just having nonstop sex and being romantic as fuck. No?
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like there's more that happened in between, but I guess
don't know.
not.
We have 8.5 minutes. We'll figure it out. So they go on the boat ride. It's romantic. They go in the water, and she's like, basically, Ryan Gosling and her were much more like fire and ice. Like it was it was very tumultuous, but in a way that like they both were kind of addicted to. In a way that a lot of modern movies would say is kind of toxic. But these people in this kind of retelling think is romantic. Whereas the James Martin's thing is much more like he's a normal guy living like a life of like boring stability.
Yeah, he's like what I should have versus what I want and need to have in a way. Like
exactly.
It's the passion versus the what's a smarter, long-term quote unquote choice.
So true. Good. Well said.
Thank you.
So
that's when all the sex starts.
Shoot. Okay, it starts to rain, and then we get to the big scene.
Yeah, lots of wet sex.
No.
What do you want?
What do you? Yeah, because
That's after they had sex.
Is it after?
Yeah,
no,
because
it's in the rain.
You just said it starts. No, it starts to rain. They pull up to the side. He strips her, like they go inside, strip the clothes off, whatever. The next morning, she's like, "I gotta go." He's like, "What do you want? What do you want?" That's like
what does he scream about?
The what do you want?
He screams.
I feel like the what do you want is like the big build up to the big kiss. And then they go in and
yeah, because he's like, "What do you want?" And then she's like, "I don't know."
He's like, "I want all of you, you and me, this or that." But that's like almost at the very end of the story in the Notebook.
How do you remember like the script?
Because this is powerful messages they're saying there. I want you all the time, every day, you and me, all this beautiful stuff. But yeah,
that's nice. John, has she ever said that to you?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we should nail down the order here. So Noah takes her to water. They fall more in love. We just have swans written down. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, those swans.
You don't remember swans?
Bunch of birds.
There's a bunch of swans.
Honestly, guys, at this point, I was just like head and hands, like this movie. Anyway, okay, crazy wet sex in the couch.
They're drenched from the rain.
Yes, and it's in the same house they almost had sex in, kind of, things. And then he's like, "What do you want?" When does she show her that he built her like a paint studio?
The next morning, after they have sex.
So, when do they get to? So, what do you want is now?
No, what? I think you had it wrong. I think we were right. Where
I do think.
What do you want? And then she's basically like, "I want you," and then they kiss, and then go into the house.
Yeah,
that sounds very romantic. So I'll go with it.
Yeah, like that sounds like, to me personally, that sounds like how I would do it.
That's how like a Nicholas Sparks writing The Long Road would end it up.
Yes.
So.
Okay, 5.5, little under 6 minutes.
I think we're almost there.
We're crushing it. I mean, no, what? We have so much more stuff to do.
I don't think so.
What do you do? James Marsden comes to town and all this stuff happens.
Let me just quickly break it down.
Break it down for me here, John.
So after sex that night, Allie goes to. There's like arrows or something to the paint room. Mm-hmm. There's that, and she's like, "Holy crap, this is so romantic."
He loves me so much.
She goes back to her hotel in town, and her mom's there.
No, the mom knocks up on the front door when she's in nothing but a towel.
Yeah. She doesn't leave the house. He goes into town to grab like permits or something, or food or whatever, maybe coffee, and he has to like go. So he leaves town. He comes back in. Her mom's there because her mom's like, "Oh, if Rachel McAdams disappeared, there's only one place she possibly could have gone to see Ryan Gosling."
Right.
And so then her mom brings her the letters.
Yeah, her mom brings her the letters,
which is super nice, super romantic.
And then tells the same story, not the same story, but tells the story of her, that she had of like this. She had like a summer fling, and like, she thought it was love when she was 18. And she chose not to stay with that guy because he now works at that lumberyard.
They take a drive to the lumberyard. Yes.
And she sees her fling from like 30 years ago.
The mom's fling.
Yeah, still working at the same lumberyard 30 years later. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "That's not the path I wanted." And then basically gave the blessing to choose your own path. Don't follow
finally
me.
She's
she
saying,
was like, "I love your father, but I also, sometimes I think about like if I chose the passion, that would also have been cool. But like also look at this guy, he's slaving away at the lumberyard. Is that the life you want?"
Right.
Which I feel like the lumberyard is getting a bad rap in this movie. Like it seems like a perfectly decent job to have, like a good profession.
I think it's fine.
It's noble.
It's the whole thing, though. Like
all houses are made of wood.
So
all houses are made of wood. You know what? I like that.
Yeah. So
genius.
Okay.
So basically, they go back, and I guess Noah's there.
We're fine. We're totally fine. Noah's there, and Noah's like, hey, mom, I forget the mom's name, but he's not excited to see her because he's like,
I'm going to lose Allie.
I'm going to lose Allie because last time the parents got involved, shit got bad. And so then they have another scene on the porch where they're like also kind of yelling at each other, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so confused. I love you, but I also love James Marsden.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt anybody. He's like, what do you want, T? What do you want?
I think they do this. So how do they... Okay, so
saying,
I do think
guys.
this might be the what do you want thing then, but then how do they have sex before? I mean, not how, but
I'm thinking...
I think they just... I don't think that's the important part. I think they just do it.
If you're out in the rain, I mean, how sexy is it being out in the rain? You're on a boat, this and that. I mean, it's
I
just
feel like here's the thing.
Dirty and slippery.
This is kind of my take. I think Kiss in the Rain's like cool for like 10 seconds, and then you're like, let's get inside.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
And then you're getting pneumonia.
Yeah, it's like cold.
This is 1920s. That could put someone down.
Yeah, and like all your clothes are. It's like it's a nice idea.
But if it's like the love of your life you haven't seen in years, and you're in that setting, now you're like, all I want to do is rip
it's
your clothes
romantic
off.
if it's Rachel McAdams. Okay,
If it's Amy
so
Adams.
then James Marsden also shows up to town. Everyone's in town now. The mom gives Rachel McAdams the letters, so she knows Ryan Gosling wasn't lying about sending her letters every day. That's important because she never got the letters.
Yeah.
Right.
Am I missing any other things that are going on in this town?
I'd say we're in a good spot. Yeah. After the what do you want? She's like, I gotta go talk to. I gotta go. She goes off to see James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And basically,
how does James take? Because obviously we're letting James down here.
Yeah, James is.
He took it pretty well. He was like, he was basically saying
2 minutes.
Like I love you.
I want you to be happy.
But I want you to be happy.
That's nice. He's a good guy. I like
Really
James
good
Marsden.
guy.
Yeah, real good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good American soldier.
I could see why the parents loved him.
But now, I mean,
Does he get with the widow?
No,
that's unfortunate. That'd be a good.
That feels like a
that's in the
bad
sequel.
movie. Not this is a good movie.
But I don't think it really like ended because now it flashes forward.
Well, I was gonna say, so we've missed a lot of the flash back and forth thing because I mean, they're really just reading the book.
It's very like Princess Bride, where it's just like a narrative device, so we can cut back. And the mom or the older lady is not doing too hot.
Now
sometimes
her
she clicks in,
dementia's
sometimes clicks out. But as he finishes the book, she starts to remember
while they're having a cute romantic dinner.
Aww.
And she's like, "Oh my God, this story is us, Noah. It's us."
And then it's like,
and then you just cry, and everybody cries.
It is nice. And then the family shows up and they're like, "Hi," but that's like before.
That was
that's
like
just like a
somewhere
little
in the
thing.
middle.
Yeah.
And they have like this little moment and they're like holding each other's hands and it's really cute. And then movie over?
Well, they died. They died sleeping in the same bed.
That's
the night that she remembered or something. And the entire time the nurse is like, you can't.
They died.
You can't go in there. Blah blah blah. But then she's like, but I gotta get coffee right now. And then and then she leaves, basically saying, like, I do believe in love. You should be with her.
Yeah. It is kind of nice that like love defeats Alzheimer's, but I don't think that's like scientifically accurate.
Yeah.
All right. 23 seconds. Anything else we missed about the plot of The Notebook?
The only thing, like, that beautiful ending, is like, it's like the old people die together. You see Allie and Noah Young kind of get together, and all it is like, you know what? At the end of the day, love is going to find its path. You're going to find your path to love.
Oh my God! Do you want to deliver that speech at the wedding later?
I should. Somebody hand me the mic.
Oh my God! We should get Kenz the mic at this wedding. Absolutely. Now that we've done that, The Notebook as a feature film, what are our thoughts? What's our review?
Still incredible.
I think as a movie, it's not that great, but you gotta know what you're getting into. Is like, if you're trying to cry, you're gonna watch The Notebook.
Yeah, here's my thing about The Notebook. It's so long. I don't know if it's long in like actual time, but when you're watching it, it feels like it's moving at just a glacial pace. Because like you don't get to the central conflict, which is she leaves for like 40 minutes, and it's just a long of like, this is kind of cute, but like where's it going? And then it's just like every scene takes a long time. I think this movie is not very good. I have fun when I watch it, and then I immediately A, forget what happened, and B, I'm like, I like 800% like other romance movies a lot more than I like this one.
See, I'm going the stereotypical route where I think The Notebook is such a classic. Like, if someone's like, oh, name a romance movie, a lot of people are going to say Titanic, whatever, or The Notebook. I feel like those are the top two.
Is like miles ahead of where this movie is. The Titanic is like so good.
But it's also very sad. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's a real life event. Like, I don't even want to touch that. If I want to just look at something beautiful from the outside, I personally, again, I'm not a crier. I did not stop crying during this film. Like, I just thought it was so beautiful at the end. That, again, the whole conflict of it's very, like, relatable. That's, like, you know, you have different relationships in life.
Yeah.
That bring out different things.
It's totally effective, is what it is. It's like, when you're watching it, you are sad. And you are like, these two crazy kids have to get together. If these two crazy kids don't get together, I'm going to be furious. Which is like, means the movie's working. But at the same time, is also probably like the minimum that this movie could pull off. Because everything else is like kind of weird. And I didn't really buy it. And I also think Gosling is like good, but like not very convincing as like a Southern guy.
Well, that's true. I forgot that the South was even involved. Because, like, I remember Allie has an accent. I don't really remember much about Noah's accent.
They both have accents, but they're both clearly, like, putting on an accent. They're not from there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because, like, we've seen them talk not like this ever again. Neither of them has even thought about going back to, like, a Southern accent.
No, it was a weird casting choice. Love the two of them, but I think, it was just a weird thing for them to try and do those roles. I think it was a big stretch for them. I mean... Did they accomplish it? Maybe, but not in the terms of like.
I respectfully disagree with both of you. Okay. I think it's a film to see. I think it is a beautiful film. I'm good to see it probably like 3 times a year. I really don't need it
3 times a year.
Whoa. Maybe 3 times a year.
I don't even watch Tenet that many times.
Oh my gosh, is that a comparison?
That's my favorite movie of all time.
Very nice.
I mean, last year I did watch Tenet like 4 times, but I was unemployed. Okay, any more thoughts on The Notebook before we find out what actually happened?
No, I feel good about it.
You feel good. John, you feel good? Like, are you feeling confident? Do you think you got everything?
I feel like we got like 90%.
I feel good about it. Let's see.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the plot of The Notebook. At a modern-day nursing home, the elderly Duke reads a romantic story from a notebook to a female patient. In 1940, at a carnival in Seabrook Island, South Carolina, lumber mill worker Noah Calhoun sees 17-year-old heiress Allison Allie Hamilton, we got both name rights, good for us, there for the summer. He pursues her and coerces her into dating him, and they begin a romance. So this is the fair stuff. We didn't even talk about the Ferris wheel in here, which is crazy because the Ferris wheel is like kind of the best part. When Allie meets Noah's father, Frank Calhoun, he immediately likes her. However, when Noah meets her parents, they disapprove. That night, Noah takes Allie to the abandoned Windsor plantation, telling her he will buy it and restore it. As the sun sets, they start to make love for the first time. Noah's friend Finn interrupts them to warn Allie's parents sent the police out looking for her. So that's when the cops are showing up. They're like, oh, you gotta go, blah, 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 blah. So we spent like 15 minutes on what Wikipedia did in like 3 paragraphs.
Right, but we got it right. We went a little too in depth. But...
Okay. When Allie and Noah return to her parents' mansion, Allie's mother, Anne, makes it clear that they are against the relationship and forbid her from seeing him. Noah leaves. Did we get the forbidding part?
It was implied.
we kind of circled it, but we did not say forbid. Noah leaves and Allie follows. They argue and she impulsively breaks up with him. She breaks up with him, but immediately regrets it. The next morning, Anne announces that they will be returning to Charleston immediately. Allie seeks Noah to apologize, but is unsuccessful. She asks Finn to tell him she loves him. Noah rushes to Allie's when he hears, but it's too late, so they miss each other. We got broad strokes of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Noah writes Allie every day for a year, but Allie's mother intercepts the letters. When all 365 go unanswered, he stops writing to move on. He and Finn enlist and fight in the Battle of the Bulge, where Finn is killed. Whoa, okay. We didn't realize that they were soldiers and that his boy died.
Did not know Finn died. With how many times I've seen it.
Yeah, and then after they go work in Atlanta or something for construction.
Oh, that's what it is.
Sure.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he's like, because there is one where he's like doing his like eating a sandwich like on a construction site.
Wow.
Allie nurses wounded soldiers in a hospital, meeting Captain Lou Hammond Jr., a young lawyer who comes along from old Southern money. After a few years, they become engaged, and Allie's parents are delighted. They love this guy, like we said. Noah returns from war and finds his father has sold their home, so Noah can buy the Windsor plantation. We forgot that the dad sells the original house so they can buy the plantation house.
Right.
Yeah.
He believes that if he restores it, Allie will return to him. Once it's completed, Noah resists selling it. Oh yeah, he's trying to everyone's trying to like buy the house, and he's like, no, you can't have it, because he's like, Allie's coming back. Okay. As Allie tries on her wedding dress, she sees a newspaper photo of Noah in front of the renovated house, and she faints. Got that. Well done, Kenz. Allie's feelings for Noah come rushing back, so she asks her fiancé to take a solo trip before the wedding. Returning to Seabrook, she finds Noah living in their dream house. They rekindle and consummate their relation, so they just immediately have sex. So we didn't have anything about the build-up in the Wikipedia at all.
Didn't have the swans.
No swans! It's a swanless Wikipedia page, and that's a shame. Noah tells Allie about the 365 letters, and they realize her mother kept them from her. Days later, Anne appears to warn Allie that Lon has come to Seabrook. She also reveals that she once loved a lower-class man in town. See,
we got that.
You can love anybody, you know? Yeah. They can be white from an upper-class upbringing or white from a lower-class upbringing. And still wonders how their lives would have changed if she had chosen him rather than her husband. She gives Allie Noah's letters, suggesting she choose wisely. Noah and Allie argue, and he tells her to decide what she wants. What do you want? What do you want? Right?
That was so good.
That's good.
It's just like Noah.
Thank you. Not what everyone else does. So she's like, what do you want versus why aren't you doing it? We didn't really talk about this. Allie's kind of a people pleaser. And she's always kind of doing
Very
what
much.
like her family and the people around her want her to do rather than what she wants to do. And this is what Ryan Gosling's trying to her to do. She drives back to her hotel, sobbing and confused, and confesses her infidelity to her husband, or fiancé. He still wants her back, but she follows her heart and returns to Noah. In the present, the elderly woman is revealed to be Allie, now suffering from dementia. Duke is actually Noah, and he uses a pseudonym to not startle her in her disoriented state. The journal he's reading to her from, she wrote during the early stages of her illness, detailing their romance and life together so that he could could help her come back to him.
We knew that, but we never said that. And I feel like that's the most important part of the book.
I do think we're like skirting around the real plot of this movie.
We're too deep in the details.
We're really caught up in the swamp. The journal, detailing the romance. Noah has kept the promise and has read it to her almost daily. At the end of the journal in the notebook, Allie asks Noah what happens at the end of the story, and Noah prompts her that she knows. She briefly recognizes him and remembers. Allie asks how long it has been how long they have before she forgets again, and Duke tells her possibly 5 minutes. They dance to the song "I'll Be Seeing You," and she asks about their kids. However, her dementia quickly relapses, and she panics to see a stranger touching her, and so she is sedated. Duke has a heart attack and is treated in a nursing home while Allie is taken to the dementia ward. Upon recovering, and despite not being permitted, Duke sneaks into Allie's room in the night. She instantly recognizes him. They kiss and fall asleep holding hands. They are found in the morning, having died peacefully in each other's arms.
You know what? 1, beautiful. 2, I don't think we did all that bad.
No, I think we got
that was pretty
broad
good.
stroke. I don't think we missed like big things. I think we were like messing around with details, but I think we got most of it.
I think we included everything we wanted to include.
This movie's corny as hell. Dude.
It's
I just gotta say that before we wrap up. Oh my god.
extra cheesy, but
So cheesy.
that's why you read it, though. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, this is not a movie if you're dairy free. You know, there's too much cheese.
Too much cheese.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you guys want to say about The Notebook or about Rachel? What's your favorite Rachel McAdams performance, John?
Don't lie.
What do you mean? I like About Time.
Oh, you do like About Time.
That
Oh,
movie
God.
makes me freaking like talk about tearjerkers. That's one that I will weep every single time.
That's
Yeah.
a very
Watch that
good
movie.
one.
I think her best performance is in Game Night, and I think she should have won an Oscar for Game Night, like for real. Like
gosh.
they don't award comedy performances, but like that's as good as like a comedy performance can get. Especially like because Jason Bateman's doing Jason Bateman, like he's just kind of doing him, but she's so wildly funny, but is also like really kind of the emotional crux of that whole movie is like her getting pregnant and stuff. God, I love.
See,
Game
I'd
Night.
argue it's not that good a movie. I mean, that might be a conversation for another day.
No, that's not an unacceptable
I think
take.
I've seen it like twice. Like I just, it
you weren't-
never really like triggered anything.
What are you talking about? Like,
Not that good.
oh my god, he died.
Am I thinking of a different movie? Like who the heck?
This is
dies
the
in
movie
Game
where
Night?
the guy who gets put in the propeller. This is the
What?
movie where her and Jason Bateman do Game Night with their pals.
Exactly,
And
and
then the
it was,
game
like,
night,
fake-
it was
that's
fake
supposed to
Game
be a
Night turns
fake-
real, and then
yeah.
Kyle Chandler shows up. I can't do the whole plot of
I was
Game Night
doing
right now. But it's also the movie where it's like the guy's like, or the girl's like, oh, I cheated on you with Denzel Washington. And it turns out to
It's
be a
not
photo
Denzel
of not
Washington.
Denzel Washington. Oh, I can't believe I don't like that movie. It rules. Oh.
I was gonna say, different conversation. But yeah, unfortunately, game night is not a top one for me. I'd second John saying About Time is probably one of the best.
It's a really good movie.
Again, I'd say The Notebook is worth seeing. Maybe only once if you've never seen it. Make your own opinion.
Yeah, if you're a 12-year-old girl and you're having a sleepover, get this movie on the screen. Have yourself a time. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah. Or if you're 23, get a little wine.
Exactly. Wine helps.
It is a wine movie for sure. I might have had a glass of red while I was watching this. Okay. Well, we're going to end this the way we end every episode. Anything you guys want to plug?
What does that mean?
What do you want to plug? What do you got? You shout something out. Read a good book, watched a good movie, had a good meal.
I'm going to California.
You're going to California. You're going to shout out just the state of California.
California. Woo!
I'm going to shout out love in just like honor of this show as well as the wedding that we're about to attend and everything
much
else.
Better than mine.
Yeah. So I think we should talk about how ironic it is that you are now, as an adult, shouting out love, considering not maybe 10 years ago, or 9 years ago, we were at college parties doing shots, and we were like, what should we cheers to? And John goes, love is dead, multiple times, and now you're shouting out love, and I think that's quite nice.
Yeah, the night that Mackenzie and I met, I shouted out love is dead, so that was completely ironic.
All right, well, I'm going to go to the wedding tomorrow, and I'm going to shout out love is dead and see if I can repeat your trick.
I like
there you
that.
go. Yeah, it's a good
trick.
All right, well, thanks, guys.
Thank you, yeah.
Woo!
Okay, I hope you took notes because that was The Notebook, and I'll tell you one thing for sure, we ain't doing that one again. My thanks to John Kenz for coming on and taking a little bit of time out of our beautiful wedding weekend. Not our wedding, it was Mike and Perry's wedding. They're married now, that's crazy, congrats to them. If you want to see what John and Kenz created, you can head to our Instagram and Letterboxd pages.
It's not that simple.
No, Rachel, I swear to God, it is that simple. Are you and Ryan in cahoots or something? Why do you guys keep interrupting me? Sorry. My thanks to Chase for the music, Ross for the logo, Elena and Rose for not turning the TV up, and I will see all you next week.